One of Taiwan's oldest temples is creating a record of its historical artifacts and preparing them for display in a new museum. Shang Di Temple in Tainan's Xiaying district has dug out of obscurity an almost 10-meter-long flag. It's covered in exquisite embroidery with many details full of religious and historical significance. It may be the longest such flag in Taiwan. Historians say the flag, as well as many other artifacts at the temple, are important both for religious reasons and for broader cultural heritage.
This nearly 10-meter-long temple procession flag has been locked up for decades. Now it's seen the light of day again as part of a reorganization of the temple's artifacts. This flag was carried at the front of a procession, at the head of a team inspecting the temple's precinct with the deity Xuanwu. It's embroidered front and back, with embellishments rich in historical lore. The figures and horse riders on the front are made of very detailed 3D embroidery. Most temple flags nowadays are embroidered by computer programs. Handmade embroidery like this is more and more unusual.
One side illustrates Journey to the West, and the other Investiture of the Gods. Every stitch is so fine, and the design is 3D.
The temple is preparing a new museum hall to feature the procession flag, as well as ancient incense burners, calligraphy inscriptions, Cochin ceramics, and clay and wooden sculptures. Almost all are precious artifacts dating back to the Japanese colonial era or the early years of the ROC. The temple has recently begun to open up the store where they're kept to photograph and document them. It plans to open its museum hall to the public at the end of this year.
Our deity, the Great Emperor, is quite extravagant. His troops and the objects he uses are larger in scale.
The artifacts housed at ancient temples are an important part of Taiwan's folk history. Historians say that these ancient temples are not just significant for their religious purposes, they should be conserved as an integral part of Taiwanese culture.
If we ourselves arrange these artifacts, then firstly, we'll feel a deep connection with them, and secondly, we'll be really careful because these objects belong to our own faith.
Shang Di Temple was founded more than 300 years ago, and its primary deity is the Great Emperor, also known as Xuanwu. A flag like this one is full of craftsmanship, historical significance, and religious meaning. It even includes many interesting details related to the daily life of bygone generations. There's much more here than meets the eye.